I know you all have been waiting patiently to see what I had to say about the AMAs. The time has come.
And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I'm going up on my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag and all its forms. What,
Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is going to be, the show is long. I'm not going to do that to you. I'm only going to point out, as I do, the things that stuck out for me, however small or big they were. That's all I'm covering. It's the things that stuck out for me that I liked and disliked about the American Music Awards 2017. 45 years. This is the 45th annual. So it was actually hosted by Tracee Ellis Ross. Listen. Y'all know I love Tracee. I love Tracee, and this was perfect. I've seen her do her Black Girls Rock thing, and she turns that out. She was such a good host on this show. She kept it moving. I think she did, was it 11 changes of clothes? Which did not surprise me, because when her mother did it years ago, her mother turned it out in the fashions. She's the one that created all that. She started all that Ross moment where every time you see her, she has something different on, and Tracee rose to the occasion. Even some of the stuff that she actually put on was nostalgic. It was pieces that she actually took from her mother. And I laughed so hard when she did the one little segment where she said, I got this shirt out of my mother's garage, and you say, why was I in the garage? Why, shopping and stealing, of course. I fell out laughing. I love Tracee. She is so funny. But even her opening monologue was fantastic, and it was hilarious. It was crazy. And then they opened up the show with Pink and Kelly Clarkson. That was a win-win for me. I liked it. It was good. It was somber. As usually they start with something, big bang, but it was really somber, and they sang their little hearts out. I was like, okay, cool, no problem. Speaking of Pink and Kelly Clarkson, we'll just cover that right now while we're there with them. Pink, y'all know Pink is a trapeze act. She's Cirque du Soleil. That's her. And I'm like, okay. And she's always up in the ante. She's always doing something extra. She's not just flying around just to be flying around. Because it would just get really tiresome. This time, she had her behind on the outside, on the side of the building, scaling the side of the building. I was like, you know what, Pink? Enough with you. And she was still singing live. I said, okay. I mean, you can't do anything but just tip your hat to her. It is what it is. It was good. It was good. It was pretty. Make you nervous looking at it, but it was nice. It was nice. She did it. I thought the best vocal of the night belonged to Kelly Clarkson. Complete. The best vocal of the night. Kelly sang Miss Independent and went into her new song, Love So Soft, and it was the best vocal of the night. She sang her face off. And y'all heard what I said, right? It's the best vocal of the night. Yep. That Whitney Houston tribute, get out my face. We're going to talk about it in a minute. Kelly Clarkson had the best vocal of the night. Anyway, and she had this, her dress was like, it reminded me of Maleficent. It was like all these feather shit, all these feathers going on. It looked like a cross between Maleficent and Della Reese's dress when her and Eddie Murphy was fighting in Harlem Nights. It was like that junky, I'm in charge of the girls look, but with a little Maleficent twist. And then they had rose petals falling from the sky and all of that. And also, I might as well go ahead and say that while I'm at it too. Rest in peace, Della Reese has passed away. Boy, that's a big loss. But yeah, Della Reese passed away, honey. We love Miss Della Reese, honey. Now that was talent and legend. She was definitely a living icon and a living legend that we actually have. That is a sad loss. Also, the grandfather from The Cosby Show. Can't think of his name right now, but you all know who I'm talking about. Heathcliff's daddy in the show, The Cosby Show. The grandfather passed away as well in the last few days. So rest in peace to him too. And he did a lot of other things other than that. He played in a lot of shows. He did a lot of movies and different things like that. Very, very talented black man. Moving on. Let's see. Who else was carrying on? There was Shawn Mendes. And I had to laugh. I like Shawn Mendes. I really do. But I forget that he's so young. I know he's young, but I forget that he's so young. He's 19. He's 19, and he ended up winning the award for adult contemporary music. And I just had to laugh. But his song is very much that way. It does fit that category. And I love that daggone song. There's Nothing Hold Me Back. Love that song. He was performing, and I was laughing at Keith Urban. Keith Urban was out in the audience getting down to the song. But what I noticed, I've seen Shawn do this song live a couple of times. Shawn, the song is actually too powerful for Shawn. It's just a damn good song. It's good. The song would be good even if they just, you know, it's one of them songs, they could just play the instrumental and he don't have to say nothing and you would still be out there jamming, because the thing of the song, the star piece of the song is the guitar riff. And I was sitting there and I'm watching it. I said, I've been noticing this every time I see him do this song. As much as I love this song, he can't get his vocals. He can't get up underneath the music of it. It's just too much for him. It's too much for him. But it's, you could tell his comfort part. He goes through the vocals and then he hits that guitar riff. When it gets to that guitar riff, he gets to getting down, baby. And that's, you'll watch the audience when he's performing it, and they're all in when it's the instrumental part, and then he starts singing, and they pay attention to him, and they're very attentive to him, and then they're like, okay. Maybe grab that guitar, and they be like, yes, honey. I said, the damn guitar is the star of the damn song. But anyway, I enjoyed the performance. Again, I just noticed that his vocals aren't powerful enough. The song is bigger than he is, and it's cool, because he's really making money off the song. It's a good song. It really is. Because he came right off of that. His other song, Stitches, was a big hit too. And he's just a baby. He's 19 years old, and he's Canadian as well. So he was doing really good. I enjoyed him. Poor Selena Gomez. Selena Gomez, you all know she has some health issues. And this was her first performance of 2017. She hasn't done any live performances. And I just felt so bad, because you could just tell she wasn't in the best health. She just looked tired. She looked like she was tired. She looked exhausted. And I know what that feels like when you're up underneath that. And it got me, you know, it took me back about 2 years. And I was like, wow, Selena. And the thing she did, it was like more of a scene, her performance, and it was kind of like it reminds you of a scene from Twilight. And I thought it was very pretty how they had her. I don't know if that was supposed to be pretty or kind of like dark and mysterious, but it was pretty to me. My weird ass. But she had like all of this smoke and smog on the floor, and you didn't even see her down there. And then when it's time for her to start singing, she like sat up from out of it. And I thought about it when that was going on. I said, that's probably where all her energy went. Because I don't know if you've ever performed on stage or been somewhere where they do a performance and they have the smoke machines. That smoke dries your throat out. It does. It trust me. It dries your throat out. And I said, that's probably where some of the fatigue came from. Her laying, like literally laying on the floor in that smoke. That probably zapped a lot of her energy right in the beginning of the performance. But I could just tell that she wasn't in the best health. I just felt so bad for her. She looked like she was still sick. Yeah, that was kind of rough. Let's see. Viola Davis. Viola Davis showed up, and you don't expect to see Viola at the American Music Awards, so it was real exciting to actually see her there. And she actually showed us this beautiful white gown on, and she came to actually do the opening part for the 25th anniversary of The Bodyguard. She brought Christina Aguilera on. Now, Pink's face told the whole story. Baby, Pink's face gave her, no ma'am, Ma. What is really going on? What are you doing, honey? What are you doing? The very beginning of the song was like, okay, and I mean the very beginning. Like, once she got past, if I... it was all downhill from there. I said, bitch, what are you doing, honey? This was not the time for an ex-Tina moment. This was the time for you to do a tribute to Whitney. It wasn't about you making your version of it. And it was horrible. It was horrible. And I've seen Christina Aguilera sing Run to You in a tribute to Whitney years ago, and she sang it well. It was horrible. She didn't have some plastic surgery. That wasn't helping. Her hair was a fucking mess. Looked like she just, well, I was going to say she did it herself, but no, she didn't do it. It was just what it was. It wasn't nothing but some tracks, some platinum tracks added in, and then some mousse and come to the back. And then she had this black Elvira Mistress in a dark outfit on, and it was like some cheap satin. I said, where's the silk, honey? You couldn't get no silk? Well, you didn't want to be hot? Because I know that satin was hot. It was satin, and it just looked cheap, and it just wasn't. Nothing was meshing. Nothing was gelling. I don't know what the hell she did to her face, but I'm like, Christina, really? Because one thing, Christina is a pretty girl. She's a pretty girl, and especially when she goes platinum. The best look that Christina Aguilera has ever pulled off is when she was in that mode where she was doing all the Marilyn Monroe things. She was like pulling all these Marilyn Monroe looks. It was beautiful on her because her skin is so milky and white. She could pull that look off. Her and Gwen Stefani and Nicole Kidman can do that old blanked out face. They can do that, and it looks so beautiful on them. She just looked crazy to me with all that old shit on and that dumb hairstyle and then these dumb vocals. It was horrible. Pink's face told the story. Sierra was like, okay. Even Nick Jonas, when the camera came, he was like, oh. I said, uh-huh. It was a mess. It was a mess. Then at some point, there was a man out in the audience crying, and I wanted to know why he was crying. We know why he was crying. He wasn't crying because he was missing Whitney. He was crying, trying to figure out, bitch, what is you doing? What are you doing? And then she sang, I'll Always Love You. Then it went to I Have Nothing. Then it went to Run to You. 3 of the hardest songs ever to sing of hers. When she got through Run to You, I was like, okay, I wanted it to be over. And it wasn't. She had the nerve to come on through with I'm Every Woman. She could have left that alone. It was horrible. I'm Every Woman was the worst of the 4. Horrible. 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 There's so many people that they could have actually had to do this. And I don't know why they actually had her do the whole thing by herself. Where was Jennifer Hudson? Where was Demetria McKinney? Where's Deborah Cox? Now, Deborah Cox, did all the music for the whole Bodyguard on Broadway. So why you didn't get Deborah Cox, I have no idea. Deborah Cox has been at the American Music Awards 9 million times. Why not? Jennifer, that just explains itself. Demetria McKinney just played Whitney Houston in her biopic. Like, what are y'all doing? Like, Christina, why? Why Christina? Of all people. I would have been even good if they would have went with some of these unknown people. There are unknown people who are all over YouTube and all these other little places that sing Whitney Houston and sing the hell out of it. And I mean little kids, grown women, teenage girls that are do Whitney Houston. They're all over YouTube. Anybody would have been better than Christina. Christina was having a problem. I don't know if it was too soon after her going to the surgeon and the Botox was fucking her up and the sealing shit in her lips. I don't know. But it was bad. It was bad. It was literally just blasphemy. It really was. I was like, my God. And every time the damn song switched, I was like, cut the commercial, cut the commercial. It was horrible. It was horrible. Don't do that no more. No, God. That was horrible. I hated it. I kept wondering why people kept on hitting me. I'm at bingo. Minding my business. I got everything on DVR and my phone just blowing up. You got the secret. I said, now come on. Christina couldn't have been that bad. And I remember saying to Sean Bradley, I don't know why they all want me to drag Christina. And I said, I haven't seen it yet. I said, they're going to be mad with me because what if I like it? I said, I don't ever remember seeing Christina do a performance that was that bad that she needed to be dragged. I said, I think they're going to be upset with me. Baby, I got the roll of that DVR. I said, cut the commercial. Child, Christina, girl, sit your ass down. Horrible. Horrible, 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 horrible. Anyway, moving on. Lady Gaga brought us back together. They did like a performance with her. She was in DC actually performing live. She's saying her song The Cure. She did a good, well, you know, Gaga's the girl, so she did a real good job. She had turned that little thing out, so that kind of took our mind off of the Christina-ism. That was a mess. Gaga was good. And then there was a group called BTS. It's a group of Asian kids, and they were making their United States debut. Their performance, I don't know the song, but the song was a party song. They had that theater jumping. The kids were, these kids were partying. The little girls was crying. I said, who are they? Honey, BTS, I got to look them up. But they partied their ass off. They performed all up and down and all over that stage. They danced their little hearts out. I was like, look at them. They really threw down. They threw down. They threw down the way it used to be, that popcorn love type of throwing down. How and Candy Girl and all that. How New Edition used to turn the place out and the kids be like, woo, child, little teenagers. They had the whole place jumping. They really did. They performed their butt off, and their set and the way it was all decorated, and the way they were dressed and everything. It was really, I thought, like, performance wise, they were the best performance, actually, of the night. The best performance. They were really, really good. So I'm going to have to look them up. And then at the end of the show, of course, Lifetime Achievement Award went to Diana Ross. Ross was like, I see this shit that Christina did. Baby, y'all, we ain't going to cut the commercial on my shit. I'm going to sing my own shit. And she got up and sang her own tribute, baby. I said, come on through, Ross. And, you know, I know a lot of people don't like when the stars do that, when they sing their own tribute. But you know what? I understand it with some people. Like, I understand it with Gladys. I would understand it with Patty. I would understand it with Diana Ross. I definitely understood it with Diana Ross because I can't even imagine Ross having to sit and watch anybody tribute her, because she truly loves to perform. That's where she lives, is that center stage in front of the mic. She lives there. That's where she lives. That's where she's happy. That's where she blossoms. That's her thing. So I can't imagine Diana Ross sitting and watching anybody tribute her. I think she enjoyed herself more performing herself than she brought all her grandchildren, her in-laws, and all her kids, her whole family up on stage during her performance to end the performance. And honey, them little kids was getting down, and then she got one little superstar, honey. I believe it's Rhonda's son. He looks just like Rhonda, but he's a little boy that has the hair just like hers. And he got up there, baby. He is a handful. He's just a ham, honey. He got back to her. He said, mwah, mwah, I love you all. I said, well, we know who's been hanging out with Grandma, honey. He acts just like her, honey. And he was not afraid of the people. He just was blowing kisses and telling folks he loved them, honey. And he said, I'm so proud of you, Grandma. I said, child, you are Diana Ross's grandchild, honey. I said, watch him. That's going to be the next one, honey. He's going to be a little star. Keep your eye on him. And I've been sleeping on Evan. I didn't know that Evan could sing like that, honey. Evan can sing his ass off. So I said, so the genes have been passed. You know, because even Tracy can sing. Tracy can sing. Rhonda can sing. Yeah. So we got more to come. More to come. But that little one with that head, honey, like his grandma's, and all that, mwah, mwah, I love you all. I said, child, had me dying. I said, oh, wow. Okay. I'm so proud of you, grandmommy. I said, little Michael Jackson, honey. I said, okay. I enjoyed it. It was so funny. And the people just were cracking up laughing. It was good. And I think Diana, she really enjoyed herself. She did. She let her hair down, you know. Let her, you know, the way that she would let her hair down. I enjoyed it. I did. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the awards. Everything except for Christina Aguilera. It was literally painful to watch her. She needed her ass whooped. She really did. She needed her ass whooped. If you couldn't do no better than that, you need to sit down. And God knows, I couldn't do what she did. You know, I'm not trying to take away from the fact that Christina is a fierce-ass vocalist. I couldn't do what she did, but I wasn't raising my hand in class to try to jump up there and make no goddamn fool out of myself either. And she shouldn't have either. She was a mess. A mess. Anyway, until next year, people, we'll see ya. Happy holidays to you guys.